Despite the sanctuary of the Baobab Grove, the rift between Kofi's family members widened with each passing day. His father, the village chief, bore the weight of their ancestors' expectations heavily upon his shoulders, his every decision influenced by the traditions that had guided their people for generations. Kofi's mother, on the other hand, possessed a gentler spirit, one that yearned for peace and understanding in the face of mounting conflict. She watched with a heavy heart as her son navigated the treacherous waters of forbidden love, torn between the desires of his heart and the demands of duty. Within the confines of their home, tension simmered like a pot left unattended over the fire, threatening to boil over at the slightest provocation. Kofi found himself caught in the crossfire, torn between his loyalty to his family and his unwavering love for Nala. As the days turned into weeks, the divide between father and son grew ever wider, their once close relationship strained to the breaking point by the weight of unspoken words and unmet expectations. Kofi longed to bridge the gap between them, to find common ground upon which they could rebuild their fractured bond. But with each passing day, that hope seemed to slip further and further from his grasp. Meanwhile, Nala faced her own familiar struggles, as her tribe grappled with the repercussions of her forbidden romance with Kofi. Her parents, steeped in the traditions of their people, struggled to reconcile their daughter's actions with the expectations of their community, torn between their love for Nala and their desire to uphold the honor of their family. But even as the pressures of tradition threatened to tear them apart, Kofi and Nala found strength in each other's arms, their love a beacon of hope in a world consumed by darkness. Together, they vowed to defy the expectations of their families and forge their own path to happiness, no matter the cost. For they knew that true love was worth fighting for, and that no amount of opposition could extinguish the flame that burned within their hearts. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the village fell silent beneath the blanket of night, they clung to each other with a fierce determination, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Creeping through the silent streets like wraiths in search of prey. In the stillness of the night, whispered conversations took place behind closed doors, alliances forged and betrayals plotted in the depths of secrecy. Unbeknownst to Kofi and Nala, a sinister plot was unfolding, one that threatened to shatter the fragile peace that had long held sway over their community. A figure lurked in the shadows, their intentions marked by a cloak of deceit, as they sought to exploit the lovers' forbidden romance for their own nefarious purposes. In the dead of night, as the moon cast its silvery light upon the sleeping village, betrayal struck like a dagger in the dark. Rumors spread like wildfire through the streets, accusations flying like arrows as suspicion fell upon those closest to Kofi and Nala. Kofi's heart sank as he listened to the whispers that echoed through the village, his mind reeling with disbelief at the magnitude of the betrayal. He had trusted those around him implicitly, never once suspecting that their loyalty could be bought and sold like a commodity. Nala, too, felt the sting of betrayal like a knife twisting in her heart, her faith in her fellow villagers shattered by their willingness to sacrifice her happiness for their own gain. She had believed that love was the strongest force in the world, but now she saw that it could be easily manipulated by those with darker intentions. As dawn broke over the horizon, Kofi and Nala found themselves cast adrift in a sea of uncertainty, their once solid foundations crumbling beneath the weight of betrayal. But even in the midst of their despair, a glimmer of hope remained, a flickering flame of resilience that refused to be extinguished. For Kofi and Nala knew that true love was a force to be reckoned with, one that could withstand even the darkest of storms. And as they stood together, hand in hand, facing the trials that lay ahead, they vowed to emerge from the darkness stronger than ever before, their love shining like a beacon in the night. In the wake of betrayal, Kofi and Nala found themselves plunged into a maelstrom of trials and tribulations, their once idyllic world transformed into a battlefield where loyalty and deceit waged an unending war. With each passing day, the village grew more divided, lines drawn in the sand as suspicion and mistrust festered like an open wound. For Kofi and Nala, the challenges seemed insurmountable, their love tested to its very limits by the relentless onslaught of opposition. But despite the odds stacked against them, they refused to surrender to despair, drawing strength from each other's unwavering support. Together, they weathered the storm, their bond growing stronger with each obstacle they overcame. They faced down the whispers and accusations with dignity and grace, refusing to be cowed by the small-mindedness of those who sought to tear them apart. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the pressure began to take its toll, wearing away at the resolve that had sustained them through the darkest of times. Doubt crept into their hearts like a thief in the night, sowing seeds of discord where once there had been only love. Yet still, they clung to each other with a fierce determination, refusing to let go of the fragile thread that bound them together. And so, as they faced each new challenge with courage and resilience, Kofi and Nala found themselves growing ever closer, their love forged in the crucible of hardship and adversity. For in the end, they knew that it was their unwavering commitment to each other that would see them through, guiding them safely to the other side of the storm. As the storm clouds finally began to dissipate, leaving behind a world battered but unbowed, Kofi and Nala found themselves standing on the threshold of redemption and reconciliation. The village, once torn apart by conflict and division, began to heal its wounds, as the people sought to rebuild the bonds that had been broken by the turmoil of the past. For Kofi and Nala, the journey towards redemption was a long and arduous one, filled with challenges and obstacles that tested their love to its very limits. But through it all, they remained steadfast in their commitment to each other, refusing to let go of the hope that had sustained them through the darkest of times. As they worked tirelessly to mend the rifts that had torn their community apart, Kofi and Nala found themselves drawing closer together, their love stronger than ever before. They faced each new challenge with courage and determination, their hearts united in a common purpose. As the village emerged from the shadow of the storm, Kofi and Nala found themselves surrounded by a newfound sense of peace and harmony. The wounds of the past began to heal, replaced by a renewed sense of hope and possibility for the future. As the village settled into a new era of peace and reconciliation, Kofi and Nala found themselves standing on the threshold of a brighter future, their love stronger than ever before. The whispers of gossip and scandal that had once plagued them faded into obscurity, replaced by a newfound sense of acceptance and understanding. In the baobab grove, where their love had first taken root, Kofi and Nala stood hand in hand, surrounded by the ancient trees that had borne witness to their journey. Here, amidst the tranquil beauty of nature, they found solace in each other's arms, their hearts filled with gratitude for the trials that had brought them to this moment. For in each other's arms, they had found the strength to weather any storm, and the courage to face whatever challenges fate might throw their way. As they stood together beneath the sprawling branches of the baobab trees, they felt the whispers of the wind carrying their love upon its gentle currents, echoing through the ages like a song that would never be forgotten. And as they looked towards the horizon, they knew that their love would endure for all eternity, a timeless reminder of the enduring power of love to conquer even the greatest of obstacles.